Hi, I'm Crystal, and I'm here with Texas Two-Step Tuesday, hosted by Susan, and I totally love it. This week's prompt is Prairie Dust, where we are to use two shades of brown or beige. So for my project this week, I'm doing another divider page in my book of things to do in Texas, and it is covering San Antonio and South Texas, where the biggest attractions are probably San Antonio and South Padre Island. Although it is a beautiful part of the state, it is not heavily populated, and quite a bit of it is desert. So if you are in San Antonio, of course, the iconic attraction is the Alamo, and that is my little watercolor sketch in the background of my page. The Alamo is not a great example of a surviving Spanish mission. It was abandoned as a mission before it became a fort. After the Battle of the Alamo, the retreating Mexican army tore down as much as they could and burned what would go up in flames. Later it was a grocery store, and then residents of the city were sold limestone blocks by the wagon load for other construction. So the conservation effort began in 1905 when the Daughters of the Republic of Texas bought the site, and there's a current renovation underway to house a large collection of artifacts being donated by Phil Collins. And if you're thinking, Phil Collins, isn't that a British musician? Yes, it is. So certainly you want to see the Alamo if you're in town, but if you want to see a surviving Spanish mission, there are better examples in San Antonio on the National Historic Sites. There are 4 other missions that were in continuous use as Catholic chapels and are still in use today. But the Alamo is certainly worth a visit, and if you are in the area, you also want to stop in to the Hotel Menger, which is next door. That was built in the 1850s by a German immigrant who was a brewer, and they have a bar that is a perfect replica of a British pub, the House of Lords, or Lord's Tavern. I don't know why they chose that. It doesn't really go with the rest of the hotel, but it's an interesting little place. And this is the bar where Teddy Roosevelt recruited 1,250 of his Rough Riders prior to the Spanish-American War. The bar is intact here, although the original in London apparently suffered a devastating fire in 2017. So, if you're an expat and you're looking for a little taste of home, or if you are a Teddy Roosevelt fan, it's worth stopping in at this hotel next door to see this example from the 19th century. So I've finished my watercolor sketch. You can see a photo on the screen of how that turned out. Thought it wasn't bad. Added my die cutting letters at the bottom. And then I needed a shaped tab for my page. And for my shaped tab, I used a little hand-cut version of the lighthouse in Port Isabel. That is where you cross the causeway to go to South Padre Island, which is just a lovely stretch of coastal barrier island off of South Texas. And cute little town, beautiful stretch of beach, and definitely worth a visit if you are in this part of the world. So I'll just end with a photo of the bar from the Hotel Menger, where Teddy Roosevelt held his recruiting sessions, and tell you that happy hour starts at 4. Thanks for joining me today.